What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Young Electrician Podcast. My name is Ruben Young, aka the Young Electrician. This is the career building podcast for the apprentice and the journeyman that know that they are capable of much more. This is your guide to building real income, finding direction, and establishing a real career in the trades. With that said, let's hop into it. Today's topic is going to be how to get certified with little to no money. I know I get this question a lot from people. It's like, hey, I can't afford to take these courses. I can't afford to pay for these classes, buy these books. How can I get certified? Today you're in luck because I'm going to give you what I would do if I was getting certified and my money was tight. So my promise to you is if you stick around to the end of this episode, you're going to know all the tricks to get low cost or free quality resources for getting certified. And these resources will continue to help you throughout your career to grow, stay educated, and stay at the top of your game. All right, let's hop into it. So if I needed to get certified and my money was tight, what would I do? These are the 6 things that I would do. Number 1, your work history. All of us have to prove our hours, whether you're an apprentice, whether you're an ET, whether you've never been to school at all, and you just worked on the field. You have to prove your work history, your hours that you've worked. Now, what the DIR wants you to do is to go and get a form that costs $100 from the Social Security office, and this form is going to verify your hours for X amount of years to show that you did work those hours, and that's going to get you to be able to apply for the Journeyman exam. But you don't need to do that. You can use your W-2 forms. And for some of you guys, you're going to have to reach out to your old companies and try to get those W-2 forms. If you used a service like ADP or Insperity, you should still have an account. You'll be able to go log on and download your W-2 forms. If not, you might have to reach out to your old companies. But if you've been collecting them, if you've been saving them every time you went and you did your taxes, you have your W-2 forms in a folder somewhere. That is awesome. Make sure you have all the W-2 forms for the amount of years that you need to verify, and make copies of those and send those in as your proof of hours when you send in your Journeyman form. 2, the NEC. You are not going to do any studying if you do not at least have an NEC. That is the one thing that you actually need. So they could be expensive. Now I'm going to give you a cheap option and I'm going to give you a free option. Here it goes. The cheap option is this: buy a used copy. When I got certified and I was studying out of the 2017, I bought a used copy for $40. It was like new. There was no markings in it. There was nothing messed up about it. It was a pretty good copy. I spent $40 on that, and then I bought a used Journeyman prep book also for $40. It cost me about $80 altogether, and that was awesome. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the free way to do it. So you could go to NFPA.org, NFPA.org. I'm going to have this linked in the description of this video, NFPA.org, and you're going to go to the digital edition of the NFPA 70. And you're going to scroll down and you're going to see view free version. You can view a free version, the entire NEC, on the NFPA.org website. So when you're studying, you could have your laptop opened up with your NEC right there on your laptop. You don't have to spend a dime on it. And then you could have your prep questions on your phone or somewhere else, and maybe on the same laptop, but you could get the NFPA for free. That's going to save you, upward of like $170 if you're going to buy a new one from the NFPA website. And another free way to get an NEC is to go to your local library. A lot of people don't know this. Most local libraries have a copy of the NEC. So if you don't want to do the digital route and you need this is going to cover many bases. If you need a place to study, the library is a great place. You go there, you pick up that NEC, you take your prep book, you take your study materials, your laptop, whatever it may be, you get their NEC, you sit at their tables and you study. That's knocking out so many birds with one stone. So the 2 free ways to do it is 1, NFPA.org. You could use their free version online, or 2, go down to the local library and you can check that book out. You can check the NEC out of the local library if they have it. So go and check that out. All right, so far we've saved about $270 if you're in California by not spending money on your SSA 750 work history form and on not purchasing an NEC. Now, something to note, if you do not have a physical copy of the NEC, this might trip some of you guys up because it's going to be different when you're studying, and your studying is different than how you're going to actually take the exam. That might make it a little hard for some of you guys. You get used to just navigating it on the computer and doing it that way, but you're not going to be able to have a digital NEC. In the exam, you're going to have a physical copy. No tabs, nothing, physical copy. And it might be a little hard for you. So I recommend you guys at least go down to the library and try to check out a physical copy once in a while just to get familiar with flipping those pages. It's going to benefit you guys. 3, now you have the NEC. You apply to take the exam. You've already saved about $270. But now you can't just study the NEC by itself. You need prep questions. What questions are you going to go over to prepare you for this exam? That's what I'm going to give you right now. 2 websites. 1, tests.com. tests.com. Now you go to tests.com. You find the skilled trade section. You find the electrician section. And you're going to have 3 exams. I'm going to link these in the description of this video as well. You're going to have 3 exams there, and they're going to accumulate to about 85 questions. That's almost as many questions that's on the exam. So if you go over these a few times, you're going to be so ahead of the game. They're online, multiple choice, designed just like the exam is going to be. And once you do each test, at the end, they're going to explain the answers to you. So you're not only getting a free exam, almost 100 questions, you are getting a free explanation at the end, which is super awesome and very rare. The second place is ultimateelectriciansguide.com. ultimateelectriciansguide.com. That's going to be down below as well in the description. And I'm gonna link that for you guys, but I believe you're gonna get 25 questions. Now, altogether, 25 questions, 85 questions, you're gonna have over 100 questions to go through. And these are quality questions as well. So if you're studying on your own and you need Journeyman prep questions, these are great free resources that are gonna have high quality questions. Another free resource, go to the Electrical Code Coach on YouTube. Electrical Code Coach on YouTube. I might even link that below, so check it out. He has a free Journeyman prep course. Now, again, you don't have somebody there talking to you that you can ask questions to and get your questions answered, so it's not as good as an in-person or live course. But he is going to break down everything that's going to be in the exam. He's going to go over equations. He's going to go over load calculations. He's going to go over how to find answers. And he has a section on his YouTube where there's Journeyman prep questions. So you can just put YouTube on. The question comes up. You try to find it. You pause it, try to find it, play it, see the answer. And it's just a really good resource. I love the Electrical Code Coach. I have no affiliation with him, but he just offers a super great service. And if I was getting certified, I would definitely be on the Electrical Code Coach's website or YouTube and getting all that valuable free information. 4, because you're studying by yourself, because you're trying to save money and you're on a budget, you're not going to have somebody there to ask questions to. And that's where one of our partners comes in, Ask Netta. Ask Netta, I'm going to have it linked below. Free app. It is awesome. There's a premium version, but the free option is very awesome for somebody who really tight on money, just needs some help studying. And what Ask Netta is an AI app that you could ask NEC questions to. And the beauty of this is that if you're struggling on an equation, you could not only ask Netta what the answer is, you could ask Netta how to explain to get to the answer. You could actually have a conversation with this AI to where it could explain to you how to get this answer, and you could utilize that in place of not being able to afford to have an actual instructor. So it is super awesome. I use Netta. I like Netta. We're partners with Netta, and I think it's just a super cool option. And unlike something like ChatGPT, which ChatGPT pulls from the entire internet trying to give you your answers to your electrical questions, Ask Netta pulls only from the NEC. So that's awesome. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. I'm going to have that linked below. They are partners with us. This is the only thing on my free list that actually partners with us. Everybody else, I have no affiliation with them. It's just valuable information. That's why I'm giving it to you guys. So I would be using AskNeta, because I remember when I was studying and people would give me practice exams, one, there'd be no answers to them. I'd get sent all kinds of practice exams, and I'm like, how do I know if I got the question right or wrong if there's no answers to it? And two, I'm running into questions that I just don't even know how to solve. And with something like AskNeta, you're going to be able to, well, ask Neta and get the answer to it. So it's a very great resource, not just for journeyman prep, but journeyman on the field, contractors. Because if you're contracting and you're trying to figure out how to install something, you could flip through your code book, which you should be able to know how to do, or you could just ask Neta, and Neta will give you the answer. And then I recommend, then you go and look in your code book and just verify, make sure it's true, make sure it's accurate, make sure you're asking the questions correctly. But it's such an awesome app, highly recommend it. 5, I would make flashcards. Now, they have the little cardstock, whatever flashcards we used when we were all in school. You can make your own flashcards out of those. You could use an app, flashcard app. I use one. It's really cool because this flashcard app actually, it could quiz you on it. I think it's just called Flashcard. I'm gonna have a link to them. I'll probably have a link in the description of this video because I use it. I think it's great. You can make your own flashcards. You can share those flashcard documents with other people. It's all free. Unless you want to pay to remove the ads. And what you're going to make flashcards of is what's found in the table of contents. So when you go in the table of contents, you're going to see that there's article numbers that are highlighted. And then you're going to see the different parts underneath them. Those highlighted sections and the name you are going to put on your flashcard. So you're going to have like article 100 on one side. Other side of the flashcard, definitions. And you're going to do this with every highlighted section of the NEC. It could be a little bit overwhelming, but trust me, if you start doing flashcards and memorizing the different sections, another thing you could do is you could just look up what are the commonly used tables in the NEC, because that's important. There's a lot of tables in the NEC. So what I would recommend is, one, have flashcards for the articles, and just in your spare time, maybe 5-10 minutes a day on your lunch, take about 5 minutes to just do your flashcards. The more you do them, the more you're going to start remembering what these sections are. Okay, so on one side of the flashcard, you are going to have the article, and on the other side, you are going to have the name of the article. So maybe on one side it's article 100, and on the other side it says definition. You're going to go through all of the articles and do this, because what that's going to do is that's going to familiarize you with where these different articles are. So if you have a grounding questions, you already know where the groundings are. If you have questions about receptacles, you know where the receptacles are. If you have a question about EV car chargers, you know where the car chargers are. And I've seen this when I was doing the Tuesday nights. The guys who used flashcards were able to find articles quicker. And I mean astronomically quicker than the guys who didn't use flashcards. And I'll admit, I didn't use flashcards when I was studying. When I was studying for the Journeyman exam, and I struggled for that. I was not able to find questions as fast as somebody else who did, because I didn't know I couldn't just flip to an article. I had to go to the back of the book. I had to figure out what the article was, and I was not as familiar as I could be. But if I was studying for free, I would want to do everything in my power to try to make sure that I got the most quality education that I could in studying the NEC and preparing myself for this exam. Because if you have the money and you go and you take somebody's course, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. You still need to study. You need to put your effort in, but this person's literally there to answer your questions, tell you what to do, give you everything you need. It's neatly packaged for you to pass the exam. But if you're doing it by yourself, you need to do everything you could to try and assure that you pass this exam. And flashcards are just one of those things. The 2 ways I say to use flashcards is, 1, table of contents, 2, commonly used tables. You could just go on the internet and just look up commonly used tables in the NEC, and a list will pop up. Put those on a flashcard and you'll be good. 6, I will get a notebook. You can get a notebook for like 99 cents. You get probably like a pack of 3 at the Dollar Tree. Not sure, but it's like 99 cents. I would keep a notebook. You can use your notes app for this. You could use a physical notebook. And in the notebook, I would write equations. Whenever you come to an equation, I would write it down. and I would write an explanation to that equation. Because as you're studying by yourself, you're not going to know how to answer these equations. And if you're doing something like test.com or you're using Neta, they're going to explain it to you. And then you write that explanation down, but you have to write it down in a way that you understand. So you're looking for voltage drop, and you're like, okay, I got voltage drop. I just learned how to do voltage drop from this question and through Neta. Now I want to remember it for later. Write it down in your notebook. And next time you come to a voltage drop question, and if you're struggling on it and you're like, I can't answer it, I don't know if my answer is right, I'm struggling, go back to your notes. Don't be afraid to use your notes when you're studying. A lot of people will just guess and skip while they're studying. If you're guessing and you're skipping while you're studying, you're wasting your time. You're not studying. You're playing. If you want your study time to be quality, you do need to be using your notes, at least in the beginning. Because let's say you get to this motor question on sizing some conductors for a motor. You might not know how to do it, but if you look in your notes and then you follow the steps and you answer it, that's putting a layer of paint on the wall. You're only helping to instill it more in your mind so that eventually you'll come to that question and you'll know how to answer it without your notes. Your notes are like those training wheels to teach you how to balance on the bike. So utilize those notes. Keep a notebook, write down the equations, write down the explanations of the equations, and utilize them as you study. With that said, guys, the 6 things are: your work history. You could save money by just using your W-2 forms. 2, you get a free NEC at either the local library or just use the digital one on NFPA.org, linked in the description of this video. 3, you can have free prep questions either with the Electrical Code Coach on YouTube, tests.com, and the Ultimate Electrician Guide. So utilize all 3 of those and that's going to help you out. 4, Ask Neta. Ask Neta is an AI app designed to help you navigate the code book, and this is going to be one of your best friends when it comes to studying on your own and studying for free. 5, flashcards. Make your flashcards out of the table of contents and out of the commonly used tables. That's going to help you get faster at navigating the code book, and it's only going to benefit you. 6, keep a notebook. Keep a notebook. Write those equations down like we just talked about, and that is going to benefit you. Trust me. Our sponsors today are Jobber. I know some of you guys are contractors that are listening to this episode because you want to get your Journeyman license. Now you got your contracting license. Now you want your Journeyman license. And some of you guys are just contractors that are interested in this content. Jobber. You could try Jobber 14 days for free. And then if you like it and you want to keep it for 6 months, you will get 20% off. I'm going to have our link in the description. And I recommend, if you guys are going to use Jobber, use our link because it helps us out. It shows them that people are actually watching that are interested in using Jobber, and that only helps benefit this channel. Second, Ask Neta. Ask Neta is a free and paid app for AI. It's going to help you navigate the NEC. I'm loving it so far. I think you guys are going to love it too. Our link's going to be linked in the description also. So go check Neta out. And if you do check any of these out, just come back later on. Send me an email at theyoungelectricianpod@gmail.com and let me know what you thought of them. Lastly, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, if you guys got any value out of it, then please share it with somebody else in your apprenticeship or on your crew that needs help and needs direction. Because this is how we grow and help to build up the next generation together, by giving and sharing information and growing together. Also, lastly, we are going to be opening up an electrical mentorship, probably on School. I know some of you guys probably heard of School. It's a community website. Not sure if we're going to use School yet or not, but I am planning on opening up a mentorship, and it is going to be free. There's going to be a free version of it, and I just want to make a place where electricians could come, ask questions, not just about the trade, but also about life, get information on finding jobs, building your career path, making your resume, whatever it may be, anything that would help the young electrician excel in their career, whether it's finances, their mental health, finding a job, building their career, training other people, whatever it may be. I want to build a community where electricians could come and give other electricians, pass that knowledge on, and receive for themselves, be a beneficiary of somebody else's experience in the field. So if you guys are interested in that, send me an email at theyoungelectricianpod@gmail.com, and I will keep you updated on what we do with that. All right, peace.